plenty of positives from the previous game, but it's still points lost. How do you recover from the Mumbai City game?
Yeah, the easiest way to recover is to go and win your next game against Odisha, who's going to be a tough game, a good side, sign some good players and in good form. But what we've got to do is get back to our best form. Cut out, obviously, the individual errors that we made, because we showed what a wonderful team we can be, the spirit, the heart. As you mentioned, lots of positives, but equally, we have to make sure we address, the individual mistakes we made, look to cut them out, and if we do that, it'll obviously give us a platform to go and try and win games.
Do you think it was a one-off result, or did the individual errors in the match raise concerns for you?
No, I think with any game you're always going to have individual mistakes. What we have to do is make the mistakes not as glaring as what they were, because really there was no recovery from the mistakes. Sometimes you can make a mistake from a starting position, sometimes it can be a misplaced pass, it can be different types of errors. The bottom line is it happened. We were hurt by it because we were punished severely for it because Mumbai City were clinical. There'll be some times that you'll make those mistakes and not be punished as severely as we were, but that's because they're a good side. But what we did show throughout the whole game, not just in the second half, we created many chances. That's what we have to do and make sure we're clinical, because if we do that, we've shown that we can score goals and win games, and that's what we have to do against a very good Odisha team.
We saw Hartley clutching his hamstring and getting subbed off. What's the extent of his injury, and do you expect him to return anytime?
Yeah, he obviously had a strain on it, and he had to come off just as you mentioned. He's been receiving treatment. We'll give him to the last minute to see if he's available for the game, and if not, then of course we'll take a decision on it. So we have competition for places, and hopefully the skipper's available because he's an important part of what we do. But as I said, the next day or so will determine that.
Considering the other injuries or niggles that you have, like Jordan Murray, Mobashi, Len, any updates on that?
Yeah, well, Len has managed to train today, so we're hoping that Len will be available. Obviously, Jordan Murray's now doing all the training, so he's certainly, what Jordan needs now is more minutes, but he's building up. Nerka, obviously, Valskas wasn't able to start the other night as well, which was, so again, we're looking just a bit of maintenance to look to see if we can make sure that he's in a position to start games, because obviously, Valskas, Lendungo, Jordan Murray, I mean, these are all huge parts of what we're doing. Young Mobashi has been injured since really the outset of the season, but he is making good progress. Odisha will probably be too soon for him, but he is getting better and on the way back, which is good. So hopefully, bit by bit, we can be close to a full squad, but it's always to the last minute we'll give those boys to be available. But what we do know is that every one of them want to be involved. They want to all play a part for Jamshedpur, and that's what we need, people with big hearts, prepared to be out there and give their very best for the club.
Odisha have been a very free-scoring team, free-flowing team. Would we see a pragmatic approach from Jamshedpur or the usual way?
Jamshedpur only play one way, and that's to win matches. We're very respectful of who we play, absolutely. We recognise their quality, but we don't change with all due respect. We were very respectful of the opposition, we understand what they're about, but we have our style of playing, we have a way of playing at high intensity. We see the results it can bring when we're at our best. So we have to focus on what we can do at Jamshedpur. If we're at our very best, it's a game that we can win, and that's what we have to make sure. We have to make sure we're ready to give every ounce of effort with the quality we have to win a tough game against, as I said, a very good Odisha team.
Ishan Pandita made his first ever ISL start. How would you rate his performance, and how is he in training?
Yeah, Ishan's a young player, as we have many young players who are going to get better as they move on. And of course, coming in, you mentioned it was his first ISL start. He acquitted himself, he worked very hard. Very unlucky not to score the second goal himself when he was in on the rebound, knocked it off, obviously the woodwork, and Big Ellie was there to put it home. So there's no doubt, certainly in the second half, Ishan got more of the ball and looked composed at the right times. He could score goals, we know that. What we're trying to do is, with all the young players, is develop their all-round game. And Ishan will benefit from working with us, there's no doubt about it. He'll continue to get better. And he's a great lad, very good about the place as well. So it's important to be a good player, but it's also very important that you're the right type. And Ishan is, he's a team player. He wants to help his team, and he's fantastic to have in the group.
The final question, the defence has been quite sturdy for Jamshedpur last season as well as this season, apart from the Mumbai game, of course. But this season, a clean sheet still eludes us. So what is the missing link, you think, to get a clean sheet?
I think there's been some good teams. I think we've been very unfortunate. For example, if you talk about clean sheets, we would have had a clean sheet against ATK Moenbagen because the boy's 2 yards offside. So we never get a clean sheet of that because of a poor decision. That's very simple. So, and sometimes there'll be things like that. The bottom line is you're right, we have to look to try and achieve those clean sheets. I've got to say there's not been too many in the league this year. But we have to make sure we concentrate on our part, and if we get those clean sheets, of course, that gives you a tremendous platform to go and win a game, because the minimum you have is 1 point, but knowing that we had the goal threat we have, then we can certainly feel. So I think it's getting the balance together, making sure that we're solid at the back, but equally we're a real threat when we go forward. If we can achieve that balance, of course, that'll lead to winning many, many games.
I left the field in the last match. Will he be available for selection for the next match? Are there any injury concerns?
Alidai abandonó el terreno de juego el último partido, si va a estar disponible para este y si hay algún tipo de problema con las lesiones.
Bueno, afortunadamente me han recuperado a bastantes jugadores. No creo que con Alidai tengamos problemas, pero hay que esperar al último momento.
We don't think that we will have any trouble with for using Alidai in the pitch, but we will have to wait until the last moment, like every week. And the good thing is that during these training sessions we recover almost all the players.
In the last match, the team has got the first clean sheet of the season. What will be your message to the players to keep up the momentum?
Dice que el 0-0 la temporada del partido pasado es la primera vez de la temporada que se consigue portería cero y que les vamos a decir a los jugadores por mantener ese momento.
Bueno, pues que continuemos con esa mentalidad, con esa concentración y enfoquemos el partido de la mejor forma posible, puesto que vamos a tener un partido muy difícil.
Try that they have to be focused and they have to be 100% commitment to the team and to the match. We know that we are going to have a tough game, so it's important that the players are focused and paying attention to everything in the pitch until the last minute.
Your take on Jamshedpur and their coach Owen Coyle?
Pensamiento acerca del entrenador de Jamshedpur, Owen Coyle.
Bueno, está haciendo un gran trabajo. A mí es uno de los equipos que más me gusta en muchos aspectos, ¿no? Es un equipo intenso y un equipo con las ideas claras.
He thinks that he's making a really good job. He's the team that probably one of the best teams during this season. They have a clear idea of what they have to do in the pitch, and they are making a great job.
Questions for you, Kino. It's a good start to the season, but still there are 15 more games to go after tomorrow. Maintaining a position on the points table, how big a challenge is this for you?
I think it's not a challenge. I think it's something good because in the moment you are winning or you're in good position in the table, you can keep training and keep improving, and the players will believe in what we are doing in the pitch. So it's better to grow winning than in the other way.
4 matches in the season so far, and we haven't seen Arshdeep Singh yet. And Kamaljeet Singh has done well as the goalkeeper. How are you planning to rotate the keepers in the entire duration of the tournament?
¿Cómo pensamos rotar a los porteros durante la temporada? Porque Arshdeep aún no ha participado, o si tenemos alguna idea sobre ello.
Bueno, en principio no tenemos pensamiento de rotaciones ni de porteros ni de jugadores. Lo hacemos simplemente por la condición física.
We will not think about rotating players in not only goalkeepers, also all players in the pitch. We think in how they are in this moment, in the physical condition of each player in any week. So each week things can change.
Happy first question. Last year you couldn't play all the matches for ATK Moenbagen. What will be your personal goal this season with OFC?
I try to play in as much as better as I can. When coach decide I have to play, I try to do the things as best as I can. So this season I will try to do the same.
How do you want to rate Jamshedpur FC as an opposition?
Sorry?
How do you want to rate Jamshedpur FC as an opposition? How would you rate them?
¿Cómo los evalúas como rival?
I think it's gonna be a tough game because they have, like coach said before, they put a lot of intensity during the games. They started the season really well, and it's gonna be for sure a really difficult game.
Last question. You're playing in India for 3 years now. How do you find the league and the players here?
I think it's improving every year. Since I came in the first season till now, I can see better players because I think all the local players want to improve, to learn, and this is good for the league as well.